Hi, your next cue word is bend from the hip and bend from the knee. So that's basically kind of how you get over a golf ball. So the hip socket, first I want to point out, it's right here. It's right here down on your leg. So a lot of people have a perception when they think of bend from the hip, they put their mind here and then they bend from the waist. So first I want to point out that's not where you want to bend from. So the first thing we're going to do is get you in the box. So you're going to shrug to press, turn your lats on, ab contracts, weight is centered over the ankle and the heel, and then you're going to start bowing down and bending from the hip. It's important to note that as you bend from the hip, the greater degree, you can just think about this as degrees of bend, the more the hip socket drops back. That's natural biomechanics, that's how our bodies are designed. You're really not designed, it's not a good idea to bend from the hip and not allow it to drop back, because now you're off center. You can clearly see how I'm leaning forward. So if I bend from the hip and allow the hips to drop back, that's where true balance is. So you want to practice just bowing down and allowing the hip to drop back. As crazy as that sounds, 7 to 10 days throughout the day, keep doing it. Just keep bending from the hip, look sideways in the mirror, make sure that the hips are dropping all the way back. Your weight's going to go all the way to the back of your heels when you do that, the greater degree of bend, because we haven't bent the knees yet. You just keep bending back. You can see the toes coming up in my shoes. So go all the way back where the toes are coming up, and then we're going to look at the knee. The knee joint is right here in the back of the knee. So if my knees are straight and I dropped a plumb line, it would fall about 2 to 3 inches behind my ankle bone. So you're going to take that line, that back of that knee joint, and bend your knees enough to where you create a straight line from the back of the knee right over that ankle bone. So that would be the degree of bend that you would want at the knees. So you're bent from the hips are going to drop all the way back. Let them drop back. The weight's going to go way to the edge of your heels till your toes come up. And then you're going to add in your knee bend, which is just enough knee bend to make this bone straight and plumb. Knee to ankle is lined up in what we call neutral joint alignment. Basically, that's how you get over a golf ball. You start in the box, you bend from the hip, you bring in your knee bend. Knees are basically in a relaxed position. And that's basically how you get into your golf setup. If you have lower back pain, for those of you that play with a lot of lower back pain, don't be afraid to get all the way back, as far back into your heels as you can, because that's just going to protect the lower back that much more. So don't be afraid to go way back until the toes actually come up in your shoes. It's just the best way to actually protect your back. One more thing that I want to note is if you're getting in this bend from the hip position correctly while you stay in the box. So a lot of people will start bending over and do this. If you're doing it correctly, what you're going to note is your palms will be facing each other if you are truly in the box. If you are not in the box and you let your arms hang, your palms will be facing your thighs. In the box, the palms face each other. So that's one way that you know. The primary way that you know is your lats are either on or off. You're either in the box or you're not. So that's your other cue word. Practice it day in and day out for the next 7 to 10 days.
Hi, Allison here. Thanks for watching that clip. And if you enjoyed it and you're interested in scheduling your own one-on-one Zoom lesson, just click the link below. Thanks.